Hello, I just wanted to make this video to all, nationalists and patriots, because I think we're making quite a lot of progress at the moment, and things are, well, there's signs that things are going more in the right direction. However, I do believe that our struggle is deeply rooted in a spiritual aspect, in that we are, as Europeans, we have a great Christian heritage, and it's no coincidence, in fact, because that was given to us by God. And part of the problem, especially in the more Western countries, in Europe for instance, is that people they're not Christian anymore. They don't follow God, or they sort of pretend to, but they don't really follow any of the rules, don't read their Bibles. And the problem is that God is real, and we Europeans are his children. He gets very angry when we don't obey him, when we're blaspheming his name every day and going out and sinning and basically worshipping Satan, which is what the devil wants. Basically, it's part of his plan to trick people into worshipping him. And this is why God's angry with us, and he's punishing us right now. We're under the judgment of God, and that's why we're seeing all these curses coming upon us. Look at all these migrants coming over, as they're called. They're no good to us whatsoever. Anyone with common sense can see it's a danger. To our own race for a start, as if we weren't being replaced fast enough as it is. So I'm just going to read to you a small section of the Lamentations of Jeremiah, because it's a good summing up of all the problems we're seeing now. These things have been prophesied, and perhaps it's a wake-up call to read about them yourself. But to be honest, the chapter of Jeremiah and the Lamentations are most likely talking about an earlier time in history. Well, they definitely are. But the point is that, God says he changes not, right? Man changes. So these rules still apply today for people who are rebellious. He was punishing rebellious people back then. He'll punish them the same way today. So what I just want to read this chapter, and I'll make some references. So, chapter 5. Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. Okay, well, straight away. Strangers, aliens, our inheritance. How much tax do we pay to all these foreigners every year? A lot of them are on dole, and we're paying to their upkeep out of our hard-earned cash. Our houses turn to aliens. Well, look at East London. Look at the state of East London. It used to be English working class area, and most of them have moved north now. they're in Dagenham or in Essex, but all their houses in that area have been turned to aliens, to strangers. Look at on the news a more poignant case of a German, I think it was a nurse, her being moved out of her house to make way for these refugees. And a similar case in Sweden, where I think the government have been talking about moving Swedes out of their houses to make way for refugees, or asking Swedes to share. It's ludicrous, but this is part of the judgment of God, as it says. So, I'll continue. We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. Well, again, how many kids these days have neither a mother or a father, or one or the other, or, foster parent or whatnot? All the family unit is broken down because all these, these Marxist enemies have promoted divorce being some trivial thing after an argument. That was never what God intended. Marriage is, in God's eyes, sacred. You don't take off if you find, an old man, you find a young bird, and it's just lust, and he takes off, leaves his wife. That's no way to behave. But all these ways are promoted 24 hours a day, we see on these stupid soaps. And people just, they're plugged into this crap, and they take it all in. And so they think it's all right to, not look after kids and that, and they end up as orphans, fatherless. It just perpetuates the problem. Our enemy know this. Anyhow, we have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. Our necks are under persecution. We labour and have no rest. Well, again, look at the working hours now, and the retirement age is constantly going up. And we're doing this to support, in part, all these parasites that are coming over. I'm not saying all of them don't work, but a lot of them don't, and our taxes are to support them, so we're having to labour longer. That and all the economic problems that are in the country, which is a deeper issue, but it's part of our enemy are badly behaved. They don't look after money properly, and we are having to labour longer. Most of these jobs, 9-to-5 jobs, that wasn't what God intended for us. It makes your life a misery. You are supposed to work, but it shouldn't be such a grind. If you were blessed, it would not be such a grind. Okay, so let's continue. We have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. Servants have ruled over us. There is none that doth deliver us out of their hand. We gat our bread with peril of our lives, because of the sword of the wilderness. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. Now, there's a lot of talk in Jeremiah and the Lamentations about famine. Doesn't it really apply to us in this case? Even the poorest people have got some way of feeding themselves usually in most of our countries, apart from the growing homeless, of course. But if you look at a country where things are a bit worse, not because they've sinned more, just because I suppose there's less of them, and they're deeper in the heart of Babylon. The whites in South Africa, a lot of them are very poor, and they're sitting there, craving food because they're so poor they can't feed themselves. And I think actually the way things are going, we are going to see more of this in our own country. Most people are fairly comfortable right now, but don't take it for granted. They ravished the women in Zion and the maids in the cities of Judah. Okay, well, need I say more? How many of these third world people raping our women all the time? Rape and kill our women. Obviously, I don't agree with race mixing, but I suppose arguably that's a choice. I'd rather it wasn't, but a lot of that is done through propaganda. But there is a lot of rape as well. Most of it goes unreported, but well, no, a lot of it is reported, but it's not, pushed like if there's any crime against third world people. So yeah, our women are being raped. Our country's been raped, and there's nothing we could do about it, really. So anyway, you read into that how you like. Princes are hanged up by their hands. The faces of elders are not honoured. They took the young men to grind, and the children fell under the wood. The elders have ceased from the gate, the young men from their music. The joy of our heart is ceased, our dance is turned into mourning. The crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. For this our heart is faint, for these things our eyes are dim. Because of the mountain of Zion which is desolate, the foxes walk upon it. Thou, O Lord, remainest for ever, thy throne from generation to generation. Wherefore dost thou forget us for ever, and forsake us so long time? Turn thou unto thee, O Lord, and we shall be turned. Renew our days of old. But thou hast utterly rejected us, thou art very wroth against us. So, as you can see, God's angry. And this is the judgment on our people. As I said, I can see things are turning in our favour in a lot of ways. People are really angry, but don't do it through your own power. Go and pray and follow God and show him some respect and stop blaspheming. Right? You don't have to be the most pious person ever, but if you just show you try and at least meet him halfway, because God's like your father, he wants to reward you, wants you to be happy, but he can't if you're not even meeting him halfway. So just try and meet him halfway. That's my message. A part of this fight is spiritual. The enemy is the devil and his children, right? They carry on with all this stuff, and they do worship him through their secret societies, etc.